So we go from the jumpers to the throwers. And the javelin, we got Keshorn, Walcott and Julius, Yego, a world title and an Olympic title in between them. And if we start with Keshorn, the mix should be working up. This is a former European tradition, but actually tomorrow we got a couple of Czechs and Germans, and a Polish and a Swedish, but then a Japanese, one from Egypt, one from Kenya.
Mixed.
Yeah, mixed, and one from Trinidad and Tobago, not to forget. How do you feel as the new pioneers of the javelin?
It's good to see that the javelin is being shared around the world, not just in Europe anymore. It's good to see a lot of competitors coming out from the Caribbean and from Kenya and from all over the world, just to see different styles and different technique in the sport.
Should we call your technique a Cuban technique or Caribbean technique since you coached Ismail?
Well, my technique is a lot different from the Cubans actually, because Cubans, they depend more on just brute strength. They're a lot stronger athletes than I am, so my technique is a lot more mixed.
What would you say is the best in your technique for the Cuban slacks?
Over the years, I attribute my better throws comes from the build-up, the rhythm, the speed. Getting into the position in the last is ideal for the best throws, I think.
Your beginning in athletics was through your brother, wasn't it? Your brother Elton?
You got all your information.
Yeah, and he's still triple jumping, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes, my older brother, he does the triple jump.
Do you have any expectations he could follow you to Rio?
Well, it was always our goals to make it to the Olympics together, make it to 2012, make it to 2016. Hopefully this year will be that year which he can make it and go on to compete against the guys that you just spoke to.
And your family goes against the tradition in Trinidad with sprinting. Have you sparked some interest in other events than sprinting events because of the Olympic success?
Yeah, my country is known for sprinting for the past athletes, Atta Bolan and Hazy Crawford and these different guys. But coming up in the field, I think we have a lot of talent in the field events, but a lot of people not willing to go forward and try. So hopefully what I did in 2012 and what I'm doing now, and what my training partner, Cleopatra, she does the shot put, what we're doing can bring more kids involved into the field events, and hopefully we can see more stars in the future.
Is there some kind of structure in Trinidad that could actually help people with that?
That's a very long story. I think we need a lot of building to be done in Trinidad, not just for the field events, but for the entire sport.
And you went to Cuba this spring to have a long training session? Or?
I go to Cuba for 6 weeks every year. You guys know my coach is Cuban. We always go back there just to get a good feeling of the training and the surroundings, see the athletes train and see how hard they work, and it can give you motivation to keep going forward and train hard.
So if you go on the street now in Trinidad, are you more famous than Hazy Crawford at the time? Or?
Yeah, I guess because of the different timing, a lot of the younger ones, they don't know much about Hazy Crawford, and it was way back in 1976. Now a lot of people see me on the streets and they want a lot of pictures and autographs and different things. That's why I try to stay in my house a lot.
Are you based in Europe now during the summer, or do you go back to Trinidad?
Well, I have a few more competitions out here after this one in Stockholm, and then I go back home for preparations for the Olympics.
Let's not forget 2016, because you got quite a good start, at least with the two latest competitions. It was the third best ever throw now in Oslo?
Yes, it was 86, my third best ever. It's kind of strange hearing that my third best ever when I threw 90 meters, because I jumped from 86 to 90. So, yeah, hopefully this season can continue to get better. I'm hoping for bigger throws and hopefully go on to the end of the season.
Julius, let's speak about your background. You're self-taught and you learned by watching videos. There's a wonderful YouTube clip showing your first years. Tell us about it, when you started with the javelin.
It's a long story. If I'm to give a story, maybe it will take a long time to explain how I started javelin, but yeah, it's a reality that most of my technique I gained from the YouTube, watching the likes of the record holder, Jan Selesny, and Andreas Tolgisten, the great, who just retired last time, and of course Terupit Kamaki. And of course, basically what I was watching on YouTube was not how to throw the javelin. Of course, I knew how to throw, but not the basic of javelin training. That was the main thing I was looking at. And remember that Kenya is not good in field events. It's not well promoted, and it was very difficult for me, but I took it as a challenge, a positive challenge, and yeah, here I am. It really helped me, and yeah, last year I was the world champion.
Yeah, and do you still watch videos? Do you watch Walcott throwing, for example, or you don't need that anymore?
I think that is the way of life now. You know, anything is on the internet, and you know, like for us, it's on YouTube. And of course, I have to watch what my competitors are doing, the kind of, the technique they have comparing to mine, and it's all, it's life. And of course, I have to watch. And for me, I have to watch where my technique is good or bad. So it's live on YouTube again.
And then as Keshorn got a coach from Cuba, you got a connection with Finland. Do you still go to Finland and train in Kortane, or do you do training back in Kenya?
Most of the time I'm at home, but for some few weeks I have to go to Finland. You know, it's a good place for training. You know, the best facility I think in the world for javelin training, and very nice coach who I met in 2012 just prior to Olympics, and he really helped me, and I always feel good to be there, gain some knowledge about the technique thing, and it's really important for me. I came from there today, and yeah, it's good for me always to go to Finland, because that's where my technique and everything in javelin improved.
How were you received after your World Championships gold back in Kenya?
I think we were received, the whole athletes, of course, we went to Beijing last year. It was a great reception for us. It's more or less like, should I say, a queen reception, and it was really important for us because, yeah, we had topped the world, Kenya winning the World Championship for the first time in history, and, very brilliant results, apart from the track events, the javelin and the hurdles, and everything was really going on well for Kenya last year in the World Championship, and it was the greatest reception ever.
That's great. Let's hear if Kim is going to have some reception in Sweden, David.
Welcome, Kim. You were a little bit late?
Yep, Stockholm parking.
So you had quite a struggle with injuries 2015, at least in the beginning of the season. How's your 2016 been?
I've been having a great winter all day long, and I have been good training, and really have had nothing, no interruption at all. I was thinking that in the end of 2014 and pretty much whole 15 was a shoulder injury, so very excited to throw again 2016, and I feel in good shape, and hopefully it will show on the track too.
But you had a quite good season opener as well.
Yeah, I've been in 3 competitions all over 80, so it's good, but I haven't really got that perfect hit yet, so waiting for that.
Are you disappointed you did not throw in Oslo? It was a great javelin competition there.
Yeah, of course, it was a great competition, and I enjoyed it from the TV too, but of course it's always nice to be there and throw, and it looked like they had good conditions too, so a lot of good throws.
You've done 82.67 this year. What do you need to improve to do, say, 86, 87, or even longer than that?
I think my main problem is really that I can't hit the javelin straight. In the end, I losing the tip a little and throw too high. So if I can get down the tip a little, I think I can be at those distances too.
Okay, looking forward to the summer. What do you expect from tomorrow's competition?
It's my first Diamond League this year, so I'm very excited to be here, especially in Stockholm. It's one of my favorite tracks, definitely. It's good crowd here, and it could be very good winds too, because of the stance is pretty low. Of course, to throw with these guys, like Olympic champion, world champion, it always gives me a lot of good energy to throw. And I hope if the weather could be like this tomorrow, I think we will see very good results from all of us.
You've been a winner in the Diamond League. Could you be a winner tomorrow as well?
Of course, I could. I wouldn't say I have the best chances right now, because these guys been throwing much further this year, but I mean, it depends. Of tomorrow, it's always a new competition, and it's all about being the best at that hour during the day. So I think I have as good chance as these guys too.
What do you expect from the Europeans and Olympic Games later this summer?
It's going to be interesting. The Europeans, the qualification goes out in a park. I think that's going to affect a lot, actually. It's going to be probably different guys in the finals, because you don't throw into a big arena. And it's always exciting when it's two championships in 1 year. Of course, everyone's main focus is going to be on the Olympics, but I think Europeans is going to be a great competition too. I mean, we have 4 Germans throwing like crazy right now, and the Finns are probably coming, and the Czechs, so it's going to be a very good competition. And Olympics, unfortunately, I haven't qualified yet, so hopefully I can do it tomorrow, 83 mark. But I think Olympics is going to be an amazing competition. I mean, the 2 last season, the guys has been throwing so far. It's ridiculous almost. So I think this Olympics something really cool is gonna happen.
Looks like a cool javelin summer. I just have one more question.
Yeah.
I follow you on Instagram, and you end each Instagram with the hashtag no makeup. What does that mean to you?
It started, I don't know how it started actually. It was, we just took a picture, and I think no makeup was like one hashtag we just saw, and I took it, and I just continue doing it, and everyone asking, but I'm not really sure why I'm doing it actually. It's just a thing now.
Any questions to our throwers?
Yeah, question to all of you. What do you guys think this new rule in Diamond League, that there is only 4 athletes in the last 3 rounds? How bad rule is it?
For me, I dislike the rule because it takes away from the sport. It takes away from the throwers. It doesn't give everyone an equal opportunity, because at the end of the day, when it was 8, it gives you more time to rest in between throws. In my last competition in Oslo, at the 5th round, I was tired because it's throw after throw, and it's like training. So it doesn't give you good rest in between throws, and it doesn't give everyone an equal chance to obtain better throws, because maybe an athlete is at the 8th position at the 5th round, but comes to the last round and he's going to get the biggest throw in the competition. So I think it's not very good that they changed the rule, and it's just not equal.
What about you,
Me too. I don't think the new rule is good for athletes, and it's really dangerous. Remember, it's only 4 athletes who are doing 3 throws, the last 3 throws, and the time interval between the athletes is very small, and it's very risky for the athletes. They can easily get injured because they don't have enough rest. And of course, to the other athletes, maybe you don't make it to the top 4, and javelin is a technical event. You never know when you hit your technique right, and it's really not good, and maybe you travel that far to have only 1 throw. Sometimes you can have 1 throw because maybe you fouled the 2, and it's not really good for the athletes, and I don't think it's good. Maybe for broadcast, maybe we expand the timing of the whole thing, take the time to be a long time, not just maybe a short time, maybe to show the final 4 athletes. No, it's really not good. I feel it's worst thing to happen to technical events.
Oh, what should I say? I agree totally. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure I will agree tomorrow too. Actually, it seems a little stressful if you get to the top 4, and it's also stressful that you have to hit it good in the first 3, and it's not always so easy. But yeah, we will see.
Speaking about new things, you told us about the qualification to Europeans in the park. And there is a movement towards bringing athletics to the streets. Is that something you'd like?
I actually do love the idea. I maybe think it's maybe not the best to do, try it out in a championship maybe. But I would love to have like a street meet. That would be super cool. I've seen these long jump meets and it seems like the crowd is very close and it's very nice feeling and you get very pumped when you see it. But yeah, I don't know, in a qualification in a championship, maybe it's a little too risky to try it out, but we will see.
Is there a particular place you could think of as a good javelin field, not inside the stadium, that you've been dreaming of?
Of course, we have Yego here in Stockholm, which is crazy big. You can throw a world record 10 times over. So the problem is, of course, that the ground is probably not so leveled, so you have to do a lot of groundwork. But that would be actually amazing to have an audience so close, and I think everyone would appreciate, even the audience will appreciate when you're that close and you see what powers goes into it. But that's for another story, I guess.
Could that be something in Trinidad and Kenya to bring, the javelin is quite unknown still in your countries, to put it public in some way?
In my country, yes. My country, we enjoy close up with everything. I don't know, you guys, everything is about party in my country, so that'll be something enjoyable. Hopefully one day, but we don't have as much room as here in Sweden or in Finland, or I'm guessing in Kenya. You know, my country is a bit small, but hopefully in the future something can happen.
Julius, no place in Kenya?
I don't think so. And, you know, it's not a big sport in Kenya, and you know, I've never thought maybe to have it in a different place other than the stadium. Maybe also the places to throw it. No, I don't think. Maybe in Sweden it's bigger, no, and maybe in Netherlands where you have the European Championship. But I haven't thought of it doing it elsewhere apart from the stadium.
My last question, if you don't, we have from the audience here, we got a great field tomorrow, 7 of the top 10 from this year. Who should we put here on the podium with you? Who do we miss?
I guess world lead should be up here, maybe.
Yeah, he was supposed to, but he will come tonight, so that's the only reason.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Thomas Röhler here as well from Germany, who's been throwing almost 90 meters. Anything else to the throwers? So thanks, Kim, Julius, and Keshorn. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot. We would like to see a picture of you three. You're raising it down already. You'll have to wait until September. Or ja, men det tar vi på sidan. Aha. Eller vi har säkert. Jag har ingenting emot att de där. Det är klart att vi är. Oh, yes. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow. And we'll continue shortly with David Orisha and Calabar.